Good afternoon. I am IVT Ekat for the presentation of the introduction of accounting information system. First question. Contrast the responsibilities of operation management, middle management, and top management. Explain the different information needs for each level of management. Operation management is directly responsible for controlling day-to-day operations. Operation managers require detailed information on individual transactions such as sales, shipment of goods, usage of labor and materials in production process, and internal transfer of resources from one department to another. Middle managers perform short-term planning and coordination of activities necessary to accomplish organizational objectives. Middle management requires information that is more summarized and oriented toward reporting on overall performance and problems rather than routine operations. Top management is responsible for longer-term planning and setting organizational objectives. Information provided to top management is highly summarized. Number 2. Explain the difference between data and information. Data are facts which may or may not be processed. Data have no particular impact on the user. Information is processed data that causes the user to take action. 3. Why do auditors need to understand the organizational structure of the business? The structure of an organization reflects the distribution of responsibility, authority, and accountability throughout the organization. Auditors need to know how the organization functions to properly audit it. Number 4. Several disadvantages of distributed data processing have been discussed. Discuss at least 3. Distributing the control of information resources can lead to mismanagement of organizational resources. Hardware and software incompatibility can result. Distribution of responsibility can result in many users performing redundant tasks. Individual user control can lead to internal control concerns when users perform incompatible duties. Small organizational units may have difficulty hiring qualified IT professionals. Distribution of decision-making can result in lack of standards. 5. Name and explain the purpose of the three major subsystems of the accounting information system. First, transaction processing system records the financial transaction of the firm. General ledger system produces the financial statement and required by law. Third, management reporting system provides information to internal management for decision making. What are the three primary functions performed by the transaction processing system? Converting economic events into financial transaction, recording financial transaction in the accounting records, and distributing essential financial information to operation personnel to support daily operations. 7. The most commonly stated benefits of DDP are cost savings, increased user satisfaction, and improved operational efficiency. Explain. The cost of both processing and data storage have declined significantly in time since early automation. In addition, data entry can be distributed and application complexity reduced. Users are typically more satisfied when they can control their sources that affect their profitability. Also, users want a system people who will respond to their needs and involves them in development and implementation of their own system. Delegation of cost control to individual units lead to more efficient use of unit resources. 8. Data redundancy is described as a problem in flat file system due to data storage, updating, and currency issues. Explain. Data is stored 10 different times take up 10 times the storage space of data stored once. If data is stored in multiple files, each file must be updated when a change occurs. If the issue of update is mismanaged in a flat file environment, some data may be unchanged, therefore be non-current and lead to incorrect decisions. 9. Explain the elements of the REA model and give an example of each. Economic resources are the assets of the organization. They are objects that are scarce and under the control of the organization. They do not include accounts receivable. An example is inventory. Economic events are actions that affect changes in resources. An example is a sale to a customer. Economic agents are individuals and business units that participate in economic events. An example is a sales clerk. 10. Distinguish between the accounting information system and the management information system. The IAS processes financial and non-financial transactions that directly affect the processing of the financial transaction. These are handled by the three major subsystems: transaction processing, general ledger system, and management reporting. The MIS processes additional non-financial transactions that contribute to the decision of managers. 11. Why have re-engineering efforts been made to integrate accounting information system and management information system? Managers of all areas typically need data from both the IAS and the MIS. If the data needed by the managers for decision-making processes are located in two or more data sets, the preparation of reports is both inefficient and expensive. Further, a lack of coordination between the two data sets can result in data that is not consistent and is unreliable. 12. Why is it important to organizationally separate the accounting function from other functions of the organization? The accounting function provides recording-keeping services for all of the operations and day-to-day activities of other departments, which affect the financial position of the organization. Record-keeping tasks must be kept separate from any area that has custody over assets. Thus, the accounting function must remain independent so that the protection of the firm's asset is carried out in an environment with minimum possibilities for theft. 13. The RIA model is based on the premise that business data must not be pre-formatted or artificially constrained and must reflect all relevant aspects of the underlying economic events. What does this mean and how is it applied? The RIA model requires that accounting phenomena be characterized in a manner consistent with the development of multiple user views, not simply those of the accounting functions. As such, RIA procedures and databases are structured around events rather than accounting artifacts such as journals, ledgers, charts of accounts, and double entry accounting. Under the RIA model, business organizations prepare financial statements directly from the event database. 14. Enterprise resource planning are comprised of highly integrated set of standards modules discuss the advantages and potential disadvantages of this approach. Advantages of ERP. ERP system enable organization to automate and integrate key business processes. ERPs break down traditional function barriers by facilitating data sharing. ERP software embodies and supports that business practices of a given industry, thus encouraging positive changes in the way firms do business. Organizations experience the internal efficiencies by employing standard business practices among all organizational units. Disadvantages of ERP. The implementation of an ERP system can be a massive undertaking that can span several years. Because of their complexity and size, few organizations are willing or able to commit the necessary financial resources and incur the risk of developing an ERP system in-house. Hence, virtually all ERPs are commercial products designed to solve standardized business problems. Many organizations have unique needs that require customized systems. Organizations that implement an ERP often need to modify their business processes to suit unique business functions, particularly industry-specific tasks. These applications, often called bolt-ons, are not always designed to communicate with ERP packages. Next is the ERP packages are enormously expensive. Organization management should exercise great care in deciding which, if any, ARP is best for them. 15. Distinguish between the centralized and distributed approaches to organizing the computer services function. In a centralized data processing approach, the computer services function is centrally located. The databases are housed in one place where all of the data processing occurs by one or more main computers. All system development and maintenance work for the entire organization is performed by system professionals, and users wishing to have new system or features must submit a formal request to this group and are usually prioritized and placed in a check queue. In a distributed data processing approach, the CPUs are spread out and control over data and processing is that at the information processing unit level. Thus, end users have more influence over the system development projects, which are typically handled by system professionals at the IPU level. That's all. Thank you.